Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. I hope you enjoyed your weekend of football. I know I did, but we are back to hit the ground running. Another week of football content coming your way. And we'll start with the college football review of week 2, a reaction to all the top 25 games, the winners of the week, the losers of the week, and the teams that did not move the needle in any way, shape, or form. We will start with the losers, as we always do. Michigan. It's going to feel so good not to see a number by the Wolverines. I hope we don't see a number by the Wolverines at the end of the day when the rankings come out. They don't deserve it. And I think this will be the last time that they are ranked this year. An absolute beatdown by Texas this weekend. Oregon falls into the loser category once again. Even though they are 2-0, they have played some incredibly close games against teams that honestly are not on anybody's radar. Maybe I'm sleeping on Boise State a little bit. I know some people are starting to think maybe Boise State could be etched into a college football playoff as sort of the fifth conference, going to get that fifth conference slot. We'll see about that. I'm just still not impressed with Oregon and what Dylan Gabriel is doing there. Team is really struggling. Utah, I know they won. I know they're 2-0, but Cam Rising got hurt again. Go figure. And I'm actually a little bit worried for the trajectory of this team, especially if he is forced to miss any extended time. I know Baylor isn't, bottom of the barrel, but they're also not top of the barrel. Top of the barrel. We need to start saying that. Top of the barrel. An unconvincing win at home, a game they didn't score any points in the second half. It catches my eye and alarms me a little bit. LSU did lose to USC last week on Monday. This video came out Monday morning, so we didn't get to talk about that. So that's partially the reason why they're on the losers page, but also they played this team. This team probably has a population, like an enrollment of like 5,000 students. Like this can't be a big university. And to host them to at halftime be only up 9 points and to be winning the game by 3 touchdowns. I'm not convinced that LSU is college football playoff ready. I'll just say that. All right. NC State gets absolutely swatted by Tennessee. Just annihilated. This defense is not what it used to be or was expected to be. It's a home game at one of the hardest places to play, and you allow 51 points. Awful. Oklahoma, Houston looked horrible week 1, got blown out by UNLV, and then comes into Oklahoma and besides the safety at the end of the game, all right, 2 points in their offense. Oklahoma's offense didn't put up points in the second half, okay? They had to rely on their defense to get a safety. Again, this is a team that you expect to score 35 every single weekend and to score 16 at home against Houston. It fits in the loser category. Arizona may be a little too harsh, but again, this was a team that put up 60 last week. They have a home game against an in-state rival who they should have absolutely pummeled, and they win by 12 points. A little bit of a letdown. If they continue, to not be able to put up 60 points and not play defense, then I don't think they're going to be ranked for too much longer either. And finally, Notre Dame, the team that everyone could have expected to be in my loser category, probably the worst loss in South Bend in my lifetime, certainly, maybe ever. I don't know. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, so I don't technically know the history, but a brutal loss to Northern Illinois and could potentially be the nail in the coffin of the college football playoff. Looking at the meh teams that kind of took care of business, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, all took care of business. Georgia Tech is in the meh because they did lose, but again, I think they're rated a little bit too highly. They beat Florida State, on the road in Dublin, week 0, and I think we're seeing that Florida State was more fraudulent than we thought, so their win there I don't think mattered too much. Who did they beat last week? Georgia Southern, maybe. So that's not a huge win. They go on the road, ACC team, in conference team, playing Kyle McCord for Syracuse, and they lose the game. It's just the expectations aren't high. So that's why they're in the meh category. Penn State almost made it to the losers category, but I think I will give them credit for being down as much as they were and fighting back, battling back, rallying the troops, which shows me more than almost blowing out a team. Okay, so, I think Penn State will still be fine. I think they'll obviously still be ranked because they did win. But I think sometimes a little, uphill battle is good for teams to sort of find their identity and know that they can overcome adversity. Missouri did what they were supposed to do. Miami, watch out for Miami. They're ranked 12th right now. They ought to be in the top 10, and I would imagine top 8 by the end of today. Cam Ward right now is sitting at plus 850 if you're a sports betting guy or girl. Cam Ward is sitting at plus 850 for Heisman. Kid is killing it. It's worth a look. I put a free bet on it last night, so I'm not really risking anything, but I think it's a good spot, especially if he can get some wins against some of these other big teams that he's going to play soon. Louisville did what they were supposed to do. Oklahoma State, a close one. I got the win in overtime, similar to Penn State. They overcame some adversity to win. Kansas State, a little worrisome there. Kansas, again, I think Kansas is overrated. That's why I find them here. Yes, Kansas should technically be in the loser category, but I didn't think that they were technically the best, top 20 team in the nation anyway. So them losing to Illinois doesn't really shock me. That's why they're there. And Iowa, sort of a similar thing to Kansas. I think Iowa's just overrated, and so losing to their biggest rival, Iowa State, doesn't shock me. It was a brutal way to lose. Last second sort of loss. So you could argue that some of these teams could have gone in the loser category, but it has to do with my expectations of them ultimately. And since they weren't high, I wasn't too disappointed or shocked by the loss. Winners of the week is Texas to go into the big house in Michigan and Ann Arbor and put up the kind of points they did against Michigan's great defense, but yada, yada, yada. It deserves some credit. Same for Tennessee, similar situation, absolute domination on the road. USC has beat LSU and Utah State has been a fairly reputable program in years past. Bobby Wagner went to Utah State. I can't think of a ton of guys since then, and that was almost a decade ago. But not an absolute walkover cupcake of a school, and they walked over and cupcaked them 48-0. Clemson, I put in the winners category because they did look awful last week. They were in my losers category last week, but they turned around against App State, another team that's been good in the recent years, and kind of saved Dabo's career potentially. 66 points to 20, covered the spread easily. So I think that gives Clemson a little bit of life. As always, here are the backgrounds, the details of all the college football playoff. Is the first year of the full 12-team playoff, so if you need to pause this and read some of these things, you can. But here is my predictions. All right, I went ahead and put the logos in because my wife last week, if you didn't watch that video, she insulted me for how it looked. She said it looked trashy and rushed, so I did spend a little more time getting this to look official. Out of the college football playoff right now is Oregon. Okay, I know they moved to the Big Ten. They try to increase their competition. They get Dylan Gabriel. They did everything in the offseason that you would think would propel them to the college football playoff. But I don't know how they're going to beat a team that's good. They keep it close to Idaho, and they barely survive Boise State. Both games were in Eugene, Oregon. So I'm worried about this team. I'm knocking them out. LSU, again, not a convincing win this week and a loss last week. Notre Dame, obviously, we know what happens. I think there is a path for Notre Dame if they win out and people kind of forget about this week 2 loss. But uphill battle for sure. And Coastal Carolina's Chanticleers was kind of a meme pick last week. So I'm going to just go ahead and be legitimate and realistic and just knock them out. So taking those 4 places from last week are Tennessee to go into the, NC State at a night game and just absolutely destroy is catching my attention. USC, 2 very, very good weeks in a row. We'll put them in. Missouri, I'm fine with. They're kind of under the radar. I'd like to see them play a ranked team pretty soon, or at least a good team pretty soon, see how they fare. And Oregon State, this is probably my biggest upset, my biggest shock, my Chanticleers of the week, if you will. When I kind of look at how this is shaping out, we have the Big 12, we have the SEC, we have the ACC, and we have the Big 10, and then another conference is going to get a guaranteed bid. And when I look, obviously the Pac-12 right now is like 2 or 3 teams, but Oregon State is one of those teams, and they have had some impressive victories. Now, they play Oregon this week, right? So this is a phenomenal matchup, and I haven't checked, and maybe I'll do that right now. While I'm on this video, I'm not even going to pause it. I'm just going to check right now, and we're going to see what the spread is. We're going to see who's favored. I'm going to guess that Oregon is going to be favored by 4.5. And we'll see if I am correct. And I just ask that you be, holy cow! Oregon is favored by 16 points against Oregon State. And the game is at Oregon State. That's, no. Oregon can't beat, no. That's an abomination, okay? So if Oregon State competes in this game, and in the same way that Boise State did, heaven forbid wins outright, I think we have to really give consideration to the Beavers to make the college football playoff. Okay, so keep your eye on that game. I don't want to jinx it for myself, but it should be a great game. And 16-point spread is usually typically not a great game. I don't think that spread is good. If you watch some of my other content, my underdog videos and such, pay attention because I may have something to say about this game again. So here's what we got. Here's the bracket right now. If you want to help me out on this channel in any way, the best ways to do that is just to watch the channel, like, share with your friends, comment, get this community growing. I love to see you guys, week in and week out commenting. Same. I'm starting to recognize some usernames. I think that's really cool. Love seeing what you guys have to say. If you are interested in signing up for any sportsbook at all, doing any sports betting, there's a link down there, a bet stamp link. If you use that link and sign up, you get the new user promo that the book offers, but I also get a little money because you used my code. And if you do want to pay a little bit, you can buy some GMG merch, some shirts. I'm actually going to make a hoodie soon and put that out because I know fall's coming. And if you want to use OddsView, it's an odds screen. You can see all the odds across sports books. You can see different arbitrage opportunities and plus EV bets. You can do that. You can use my code GMG for a 35% off discount. They also have a free trial if you want to test it out. But the biggest way, like I said, is just coming back and supporting. So every day this NFL season, every weekday, football season, college football season, I want to have content released. So on Mondays, we have this, and we do a Monday Night Football promos review. Tuesday, we have our NFL power rankings, our NFL picks on Wednesday, our touchdown preview on Thursday, and our underdog picks across the football slate on Friday. So if you can come back and watch 2 of those videos a week, 2 that you're interested in, maybe you share them to your friends, send them to your fantasy football buddies, whatever it may be, that will help me tremendously. I don't want to sell you guys anything. I don't want to make you guys pay for anything. I want YouTube ad revenue, baby, to come my way and to opportunities to expand, but not at your expense. So thank you guys as always, and hopefully you'll watch my Monday Night Football preview when it comes out soon. And that's what I got for you on Monday. So we will see you tomorrow for the NFL Power Rankings video. I love you all. Goodbye. Stop the video.